Welcome to Be Stoic, the channel dedicated to bringing ancient wisdom into today's world, where the challenges are real and solutions are often unclear. Today, we're going to explore a pressing question for anyone interested in personal growth, resilience, and a sense of inner calm. Is Stoicism a legitimate philosophy for modern living, or is it just an outdated mindset? Together, we'll walk through 10 fundamental Stoic principles. These ideas have stood the test of time, guiding people through centuries of adversity and change. But are they still relevant, or are they impractical for today's fast-paced, digital world? Stay with us to find out if Stoicism is worth pursuing, and why it might, or might not, be the missing key to a fulfilled life. And if this resonates with you, make sure to subscribe so we can continue to explore Stoic insights that could help transform your life. Principle 1. The discipline of perception. Stoicism begins with the discipline of perception. This is the idea that events are neutral, only our perceptions make them seem good or bad. Epictetus emphasized this principle by saying, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This insight is about recognizing the power of our thoughts, reminding us that we control the meaning we assign to any event. Imagine a common scenario where someone cuts you off in traffic. Most people's immediate reaction is anger, frustration, or even road rage. But if we apply Stoic perception, we would step back, observe our initial emotion, and then question its validity. Does this situation truly deserve such a reaction? The Stoics teach that by pausing and analyzing our perceptions, we can choose a calmer, more rational response, letting go of anger before it takes over. The great Stoic, Marcus Aurelius, often had to deal with court politics, treachery, and betrayal. As emperor, he could easily have been consumed by these pressures. However, through his writings in Meditations, he reflects on how he chose to interpret the world around him rather than allowing events to dictate his peace. This principle is incredibly applicable today. Think about how social media can trigger feelings of inadequacy, envy, or resentment. By training ourselves in the Stoic discipline of perception, we can reframe these experiences. Instead of feeling envious, we can see others' success as motivation for our own growth, or as a reminder that everyone's journey is different. This approach isn't about ignoring reality, but about shaping our interpretation to support rather than hinder us. Try practicing perception by reframing at least one negative event each day. Whenever you feel triggered by something, pause and ask yourself, is this worth my peace? This simple exercise, done consistently, can profoundly reshape your mindset. Principle 2. Embrace voluntary discomfort. The Stoics advocated for deliberately exposing oneself to discomfort as a way to build mental resilience. Seneca, one of Stoicism's great thinkers, famously practiced dressing in rough clothing and eating simple meals to remind himself that he could endure life's hardships. This practice, known as voluntary discomfort, reinforces the Stoic belief that true resilience is cultivated through facing and embracing discomfort. Imagine a modern twist on this idea. Many of us rely on the comfort of routine, our morning coffee, our comfortable homes, our heated showers. The Stoic approach, however, suggests that we intentionally disrupt these comforts to remind ourselves of our inner strength. Taking a cold shower instead of a hot one, fasting for a day, or choosing to walk rather than drive are all forms of voluntary discomfort that can strengthen our resilience. Epictetus, who was born into slavery, endured constant hardship but saw it as an opportunity to build resilience. He reminded his followers that true power lies in the ability to endure discomfort, saying, "It's impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." Through controlled discomfort, he believed we could discover inner strength that remains dormant in comfortable living. In our society, comfort is seen as the ultimate goal, but in truth, comfort can create dependency. Stoicism teaches that discomfort is essential for growth and freedom. By voluntarily facing discomfort, we remove the fear of hardship. For example, if you're anxious about public speaking, Put yourself in situations where you must speak or present, even in small ways. This repeated exposure reduces fear, empowering you to grow rather than avoid. To practice voluntary discomfort, try implementing small, manageable challenges. Skip a meal, take the stairs instead of the elevator, or leave your phone behind for a day. Each experience of discomfort helps cultivate resilience, reminding you that hardship is temporary and often bearable. Principle 3. Memento Mori. Remember you will die. Memento Mori, or remember you will die, is a Stoic principle encouraging us to live with an awareness of life's impermanence. To the Stoics, reflecting on death wasn't morbid. It was a way to focus on what truly matters. This principle instills urgency in every moment, reminding us that life is precious because it is finite. Consider how easy it is to get caught up in trivialities, petty arguments, material possessions, or social status. By practicing Memento Mori, we see these concerns for what they are, fleeting distractions from the bigger picture. Instead, we focus on values, connections, and experiences that endure beyond death. This principle gives us clarity about what truly matters, helping us prioritize relationships, passions, and goals that create lasting fulfillment. Marcus Aurelius frequently reflected on mortality in meditations, where he wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." As a leader, he constantly faced the threat of war and political betrayal, and this awareness of life's fragility helped him focus on what he valued most, living with integrity. Our society often avoids the topic of death, but reflecting on mortality has a powerful grounding effect. By remembering that our time is limited, we gain a sense of urgency to live fully and purposefully. For instance, rather than spending hours on meaningless distractions, Memento Mori encourages us to invest time in things we'll be proud of at the end of life. It's a perspective shift that deepens relationships and infuses daily activities with greater intention. Start each day by reflecting on Memento Mori. Set an intention to prioritize meaningful activities and relationships, asking yourself, if today were my last day, would I be content with how I spent it? This reflection can be profound, gradually aligning your life with what truly matters. Principle 4. Practicing temperance. Temperance, or self-restraint, is a core Stoic virtue, encouraging moderation in all aspects of life. Stoics believed that indulging in pleasures without control leads to dependency and inner conflict. Practicing temperance is about setting boundaries that help us maintain balance and clarity. Consider the lure of modern distractions, whether it's binge-watching shows, overeating, or excessive social media use. While these pleasures can be enjoyable, overindulgence often leads to dissatisfaction. Temperance teaches us to enjoy life's pleasures without becoming enslaved by them. It's about developing the inner discipline to recognize when enough is enough and to walk away satisfied, knowing we control our desires, not the other way around. Seneca spoke frequently of temperance, emphasizing that true happiness lies not in excessive pleasure, but in the ability to enjoy things without losing oneself in them. He believed that those who practice temperance find peace, as they're not driven by external cravings, but by inner contentment. Temperance is especially relevant today in a world that constantly promotes instant gratification. Practicing temperance helps us avoid addiction and emotional exhaustion. It encourages us to use our time wisely, focusing on activities that nourish rather than drain us. For example, rather than binging on social media, we might choose to spend a set amount of time online and then move to activities that support our well-being, such as exercising, reading, or connecting with loved ones. To practice temperance, try setting limits on one pleasurable activity, whether it's eating, social media, or TV. Consciously choosing moderation builds self-discipline, allowing you to enjoy pleasures without losing control. Principle 5. Cultivating virtue above all. For Stoics, virtue, wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance was the highest good, the true path to fulfillment. They argued that by living virtuously, we achieve peace and purpose regardless of external success or failure. Imagine facing a moral dilemma at work where honesty may cost you a promotion. Stoicism teaches that choosing the path of virtue, even at a personal cost, builds self-respect and inner peace. This is where true satisfaction lies, in knowing we act with integrity, regardless of external rewards. By focusing on virtue, Stoics believe we align with universal principles that create a meaningful life, free from regret or self-betrayal. Marcus Aurelius held that virtue was the ultimate goal, writing, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." He viewed virtue as a constant journey, one that required effort, but provided unparalleled peace. This commitment helped him maintain his integrity, even amidst the political betrayals and hardships of his reign. In our achievement-driven society, it's easy to prioritize external success over inner character. However, Stoicism reminds us that virtue is the foundation of a fulfilled life. Cultivating qualities like honesty, courage, and kindness gives our lives direction and meaning. By prioritizing virtue, we shift our focus from seeking validation to embodying qualities that enrich both our own lives and those of others. Choose one virtue to cultivate actively each week. Reflect on how it shapes your actions and decisions. For instance, if you choose kindness, look for opportunities to be patient, compassionate, or generous. This practice builds a habit of virtue, enhancing both your self-respect and your relationships. Principle 6. Focusing on what we can control. A central tenet of Stoicism is the distinction between things within our control, our thoughts, actions, and decisions, and things outside of it, such as others' opinions or external events. The Stoics believed that focusing on what we can control brings peace and freedom. Many of us spend significant time worrying about things beyond our control, from other people's behaviors to global issues. The Stoic practice of focusing on our influence can be liberating, conserving mental energy for what we can impact. Imagine releasing the need to control others' opinions and focusing instead on your own actions. This shift not only brings peace, but also empowers us to face challenges with clarity. Epictetus, born into slavery, embodied this principle, reminding his followers that true power lies in mastering oneself. He taught that we should not concern ourselves with things beyond our control, for doing so creates unnecessary suffering. His resilience and peace came from recognizing his freedom within. In today's world, where we're inundated with information and opinions, this principle is a powerful tool for reducing anxiety. For example, if we worry about a promotion we can't control, we can redirect that energy into preparing and improving our skills. By focusing on what we can influence, we free ourselves from the endless loop of worry and frustration. To practice this, make a list of things you're currently worrying about. Divide them into things you can control and things you cannot. Focus only on the items within your influence and let go of the rest. This simple exercise, done regularly, can help train your mind to prioritize constructive thinking. Principle 7. Amor Fati, love of fate. Amor Fati, or love of fate, encourages embracing every experience as essential to our growth. Instead of resisting life's difficulties, Amor Fati teaches us to accept all events as part of our journey. Life often brings challenges we didn't anticipate or want, like a job loss or a breakup. Amor Fati teaches us to accept these moments, seeing them as opportunities rather than setbacks. Imagine losing a job, and instead of feeling defeated, seeing it as a chance to explore new paths. This mindset reduces suffering, transforming obstacles into teachers. Epictetus, who endured hardships from birth, spoke of Amor Fati as a way to find peace in adversity. He believed that all events held lessons, and by embracing rather than resisting them, we find purpose, even in pain. In a world that often fears discomfort, Amor Fati is a profound reminder to accept rather than avoid life's twists. Instead of seeing setbacks as failures, we view them as necessary parts of our growth. This outlook helps us navigate life's unpredictability with strength, reducing anxiety and fostering adaptability. Embrace Amor Fati by reframing challenges as opportunities. Whenever faced with difficulty, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? This shift can be transformative, helping you see life's events as gifts, even when they're wrapped in difficulty. Principle 8. The power of reflection and journaling. Reflection was essential to Stoic practice, with figures like Marcus Aurelius famously writing down daily thoughts in his personal journal, Meditations. For the Stoics, journaling provided clarity, helping them align actions with values. Reflection is more than recounting the day. It's a way to align our lives with our values, examining whether our actions support our goals. Through reflection, we gain insights into our choices, identifying patterns and areas for growth. This practice builds self-awareness, enhancing our ability to make intentional decisions that align with our principles. Marcus Aurelius used meditations to reflect on his leadership, humility, and personal growth. His writings reveal the depth of his self-examination and commitment to improvement, showing how reflection helped him remain grounded and focused despite his immense responsibilities. In today's fast-paced world, taking time for reflection is a powerful way to reconnect with our values. Regular journaling allows us to analyze our actions, observe emotional patterns, and consciously shape our journey. It's a tool for cultivating self-awareness and alignment with our highest principles. Begin a journaling habit by setting aside 5 minutes each day to reflect on your actions, reactions, and challenges. Consider what went well, what could improve, and how your actions align with your values. Over time, this practice helps you grow in self-awareness, making choices that consistently support your personal and philosophical goals. Principle 9. Practicing compassion and forgiveness. The Stoics emphasized compassion for others, understanding human imperfection, and practicing forgiveness. Instead of reacting with anger, Stoicism encourages empathy, knowing that everyone struggles with their own challenges. It's easy to become frustrated with others' flaws, but Stoicism teaches that compassion brings inner peace. By recognizing that all people are fighting their own battles, we cultivate empathy, releasing the burden of resentment. This choice doesn't mean accepting harmful behavior, but rather prioritizing our own peace by forgiving others for their limitations. Marcus Aurelius frequently reflected on the importance of compassion. He reminded himself that all people are flawed and that anger harms us more than it harms others. By practicing empathy, he was able to maintain harmony within himself and with others. In a society where conflict is often encouraged, practicing compassion creates peace in our lives. Rather than harboring grudges, we release negative emotions, fostering healthier relationships and greater inner calm. This mindset helps us navigate life with understanding, turning frustration into empathy. When someone frustrates you, take a moment to consider their perspective. Ask yourself, what challenges might they be facing? This practice of compassion helps you cultivate empathy, transforming your perspective and promoting peace. Principle 10. Living in accord with nature. Living according to nature means aligning with both our rational nature and the natural world's rhythms. This principle encourages us to embrace simplicity, balance, and respect for life's cycles. In today's world, we're often out of sync with nature's rhythms, constantly pushing for growth and achievement without rest. Living in harmony with nature involves accepting the natural ebb and flow of life, seeking balance rather than constant control. This mindset reduces stress, helping us find peace in the natural progression of life's cycles. Epictetus taught that living in accordance with nature means accepting both the highs and lows of life. By doing so, we avoid the stress of trying to control outcomes, finding peace in the natural flow of life. In a world where productivity is prized above all, this principle is a reminder to reconnect with simplicity and balance. Embracing nature's cycles helps us avoid burnout, creating a life that's both fulfilling and sustainable. Embrace simplicity by spending time in nature or practicing mindfulness. Reflect on how you can create balance, aligning your life with your natural energy cycles. This practice promotes peace and contentment, allowing you to live in harmony with yourself and the world around you. And that brings us to the end of our journey through Stoicism's core principles. Each one offers a powerful perspective on life, providing insights into resilience, peace, and meaning. If these ideas resonate with you, consider subscribing to Be Stoic and joining our community. Together, we can explore even more life-changing wisdom and ancient practices. Until next time, stay strong, stay stoic, and keep seeking wisdom in everything you do.